Some people spend their entire lives chasing wealth and money. They believe that earning a lot of money will bring them comfort and happiness. But that same wealth becomes the cause of their children's fights and conflicts. On the other hand, some people leave behind everything, including their families and wealth, and embrace a life of renunciation. They believe that by renouncing the material world, they can find true liberation and experience real happiness. Both individuals strive in their own ways to find happiness, one by accumulating wealth and the other by renouncing it. But the question remains, who is truly happy? The one who accumulates wealth or the one who renounces it? And if neither of them, then which type of person can always be happy? In today's Buddhist story that I am going to tell you, you will learn about such ways through which a person can experience true happiness. By living life according to these principles, you will discover the essence of real happiness. You will learn about the ultimate bliss, which we call Paramanand, supreme bliss. Before you get lost in this story, make sure to subscribe to this channel. Let's start the story. When a child is born in someone's house who is going to renounce his life, then the family becomes very worried. They wonder how this child will survive in this world, how he will earn a living, and how he will sustain himself. Because the child often remains detached from worldly growth, as renunciation means leaving everything behind. Ramchandra had the same kind of child. Ramchandra used to live in a village near Allahabad, India. The village where Ramchandra lived was known for its wealth and prosperity. He had earned a lot of wealth in his life and had established himself there. But when his son was born, the astrologers predicted that the child would grow up to be a renunciant. They said that he would give up all the wealth and riches, and the accumulated wealth would need to be donated. Upon hearing this, Ramchandra became very worried. He had worked hard to accumulate that wealth, and now it seemed like it would all go to waste by donating it completely. He wondered who would enjoy the wealth that he had collected. He was deeply troubled by the thought that his son would become a renunciant. Finally, he approached the astrologers and asked them for a solution to prevent his child from becoming a renunciant. The astrologers gave him few solutions. Time passed slowly, and the world continued to move forward. Shyam gradually grew older, and his father, Ramchandra, became more involved in accumulating wealth and earning more. Ramchandra did not let Shyam have any deficiencies or unfulfilled desires. He wanted to keep Shyam happy. He thought, why would Shyam become a renunciant if he doesn't even experience any suffering? However, when Shyam turned 7 years old, one day, a Buddhist monk arrived at their doorstep, seeking alms. Shyam engaged in a long conversation with the monk. They spent a lot of time together, discussing various topics. When Ramchandra found out, he scolded Shyam and immediately took the Buddhist monk away from their house. He was concerned that these conversations might lead his son to renunciation. He said, "Son, I haven't left any deficiencies for you. Why do you sit with these beggars? What pleasure do you find in sitting with them? I have brought various toys for you to play with. I have placed so many servants at your service. But still, why do you leave behind all these things and run after these beggars?" Upon hearing this, Shyam replied, "Father, I have grown tired of these things. I have indulged in so much enjoyment that I have exhausted myself with all these material possessions. I need something else, something different. I desire a different kind of happiness now." As Shyam was just a child, Ramchandra had no answer for him. Ramchandra decided that he would bring new things for Shyam's entertainment so that his mind would be diverted from renunciation, but as Shyam grew older, he also became wiser. He had come to understand that accumulating wealth doesn't bring true happiness, it only creates an illusion of happiness. That's why he started spending more time with saints and beggars. One day, when his father saw him sitting with the saints again, he became furious. He thought, "I have worked my whole life for this child, and now he is on the path of becoming a beggar. I have explained to him so much and provided him with all the comforts and luxuries, yet he wants to become a renunciant, leaving behind all my wealth. What is there being a renunciant? This made him extremely saddened. In his anger, he grabbed his son's hand and took him straight back home. Upon reaching home, he slapped his son hard across the face. As tears rolled down Shyam's cheeks, they fell at Ramchandra's feet. After this incident, Ramchandra realized that he had unjustifiably slapped his son without any reason. Understanding his son's perspective, he said, "I apologize for slapping you. I haven't accumulated this wealth that can be donated. I want you to enjoy this prosperity. Apart from you, who else is the rightful owner of this wealth? The whole world is running after wealth, and you are receiving it as an inheritance. Indulge in its pleasures. Why are you heading toward renunciation? What is so special about these saints and beggars? What is lacking in the materialistic objects and pleasures?" Upon hearing this, Shyam said to his father, "Father, I will accept every word of yours. Just accompany me this evening to listen to a great saint. They will conduct a satsang, imparting teachings and knowledge. Take the opportunity to receive their wisdom. After that, whatever you say, I will obey it. But tonight, just listen to me and come along." Ramchandra burst into laughter and said, "What's the big deal? I will listen to the sermon. Tell me which saint's discourse you want me to hear. But after that, remember your promise." Further, he said, "Look, Shyam, I will only listen to the sermon as per your request. Otherwise for me, there is no joy in listening to the sermons of saints." Hearing this, Shyam shook his head, and both father and son reached the sermon venue where the saint was about to give teachings. After a while, when the saint arrived there, everyone stood up and greeted him. After that, the saint began speaking, "The fruits of contentment are very sweet. When a person tastes the fruit of contentment, immense peace arises within them. Whatever one receives, they should practice finding contentment in it. Some individuals are poor, while others are wealthy, but what is the difference between them when it comes to earning more wealth? Whether a person is poor or rich, they should learn to find contentment within themselves. But the person who learns to find contentment with what they have taken their first step towards the divine." Hearing this, the mind of a disabled man who was sitting at the sermon venue became enlightened. From that moment, he asked, "Mahatma, you say to be content. How can I be content when God has not even blessed me with proper hands and feet so that I can fill my stomach? Now, you tell me, how can I find contentment? How can I explain this to my mind?" After listening to this, the saint smiled and said, "My dear, by holding on to discontentment, what difference will it make? Can you bring back your hands and feet? Fine, I say, don't be content. What difference will it make? Your hands and feet won't even come back? But because of discontentment, you will be saddened in your mind, and apart from contentment, you don't have any other option. Whether it's by compulsion or according to your mind, you will have to cultivate contentment. After cultivating contentment, you can attain peace within your mind." After saying this, the saint asked the disabled man again, "Come on, you only tell me, if you had hands and feet, what would you do? Would you be happy and content in that moment? Just think about it. If today you had hands and feet, you would start establishing new goals in your life. You will realize that I need to become something, I want this, I have to achieve those things, and when you won't get those things, then, again, discontentment will arise within your mind. There is no relation between discontentment and our body. Its origin lies within the mind. Desires arise from the mind, and it is through the mind that attachments are formed. I have often seen disabled people laughing and perfectly healthy people crying. Understand your mind, cultivate discernment, how to cross the ocean of illusion and reach peace of mind. To understand Maya, we don't need to become ascetics. We need to understand Maya while living in the world. And once we understand Maya, then we can attain a state of contentment and detachment with a peaceful mind. A person trapped in Maya considers material wealth and prosperity as true happiness. Wealth and status become supreme for them. But if they can ever elevate their discernment above Maya, they will realize that true happiness and true bliss have nothing to do with material possessions. For those who are removing themselves from Maya through the remembrance of the Lord or meditation, both these practices elevate you above Maya and provide a new perspective, which is the perspective of supreme bliss. Besides meditation and remembrance of the Lord, if we choose the path of love, we can attain that supreme bliss. And the path of love is easier than the path of meditation. Therefore, quench your thirst for love, which is not attached to anything, which is independent, which is free, which is for all living beings. 3 paths elevate you above Maya and provide the state of supreme bliss: meditation, love, and remembrance of the Lord. You can choose any path, all paths lead to the same destination. Today's younger generation often spends their time listening to songs and engaging in film music and cinema. But our ancestors used to perform morning and evening rituals, singing hymns and devotional songs. Some people would play the drums, and together they would have bhajan kirtan sessions. There used to be satsang, spiritual gathering. But today's youth have left behind these practices of bhajan, arati, kirtan, and satsang. Do you consider those who engage in bhajan, arati, kirtan, and satsang as superstitious? Do you know the science behind them? By engaging in bhajan and kirtan, certain gates of the mind open. It is as if someone has washed our mind in clear water and removed all worries and concerns from our past. Our mind becomes engrossed in the bhajan, it finds solace, and it becomes like a friend. These are moments of meditation. We can find the same experience in bhajan, kirtan, and satsang. Hence, never think that bhajan, kirtan, and satsang have no meaning. They bring about a sense of peace. Therefore, I request the younger generation to spend their time in bhajan, kirtan, satsang, or meditation and love. Learn something other than just engaging in idle talk with friends. You can learn to play a musical instrument, learn to play the drums, or learn to sing a bhajan. This will not only enhance your skills but also bring peace to your mind. You will experience extraordinary peace, the rise of love, and the opening of the gateway to the divine. Finally, I want to say that there is no difference between the rich and the poor until a person crosses the ocean of Maya and experiences supreme bliss. The one who attains the experience of supreme bliss remains unaffected by wealth or poverty. They become like emperors because they have experienced something that neither the rich nor the poor could attain. So, as you watch this video, you can cross the ocean of Maya and attain supreme bliss. You just need to divert your mind towards a new path, a path that leads to true happiness. Then you will leave behind your materialistic goals and move towards the real goal, the one that provides true joy. After that, all the illusions in your mind will shatter, and you will understand how to attain real happiness. So, dear friends, how did you like this story? Let me know in the comments section. If you liked it, remember to subscribe to this channel. See you in the next story. Until then, stay blissful.